Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And in this one we have buff / slightly nerfed SHYVANA, who I think is stronger, although her win rate's gone down by 2%, so why? How can we deal with that and what's the best way to build her in this new reality? We of course are against a Giga Chad, Exodia comp, Maokai, Udyr, Silas, Twitch, and a Yummy. That needs to be destroyed. I have already recorded the first 5 minutes of this, the mic was muted, I cry, it's because I was doing a main channel video just before this. And here we go. First blood will be gained. Sorry to spoil that, but I think it's kind of obvious. The flash unnecessary, you were dead anyway, bro. Now, how can we translate this into a lead against an Exodia comp who's going to outscale us and outdamage us anyway? And any sort of first blood in this particular situation doesn't mean too much. I don't know what Ashe is doing in particular. We're going to have a leash to start here by the SHYVANA. We'll see the Udyr on the top side. Runes on your screen now. This build plus the regular build plus the most optimized build of SHYVANA. I will update for my Zada GG SHYVANA guide that should be coming Monday or Tuesday. We already have another 30 plus junglers covered, so go ahead and try one of those in the meantime. But definitely really excited to get every single jungler out basically within the next week or so, so you should be all covered. We're gonna go leash this here. I really don't know what our Ashe is doing, but the Twitch Yumi combo is just so absolutely frustrating. She's gonna die as well here, flash burned by the Twitch. We're gonna do our regular full sequence. What I want to talk about though is with the W's added AD ratio buffs, with the AP ratio, AD, with the AP ratio buffs across the board, like 30% on the ultimate as well. Nothing on the Q, obviously just E and R. The base damage was nerfed though in your Dragon Form E. The base damage on your HP, max HP burn, was gone from 3.75 to 3.5% max HP damage. That's going to affect your SHYVANAs who build full tank and anti-demonics. Because obviously, I have not enjoyed that most of the season. I think most of us can agree we haven't enjoyed it. Nice fadeaway tick boom. That's going to be gone in Season 12. We don't like champions who overdamage and kill us and have such high base damage that they don't get punished for building tank itemization. SHYVANA's a fighter, she's a brawler, she's a melee. She wants to get in there and survive. So tank items on her are absolutely standard normal. But if you want to do damage, you should be forced to build damage. So in this video with the SHYVANA main, what he's trying out is a lot of AP to test out the AP ratio buffs. Again, that is significantly more difficult to play than your standard Frostfire Demonics or Frostfire Blade of the Rune King build set. So what he decided was, hey, you buffed AD ratios, you nerfed base damage, you buffed AP ratios, why don't I just build everything? And that's where this, about a year ago, I came up with this with Volibear as well. Once they changed Demonics and Brace to convert HP to AP, well, I have Titanic, why don't I add in Demonics too? Because both scalings, right? Now, you're getting all of your HP converted from Titanic, from the tank itemization, from the, what are we doing? Into AD and AP once you complete those items. So you become quite a monster. Now, this is a little bit silly because one of the worst win rate clears you can possibly have in the game is a 5 camper that excludes Grom into Crab into the Grom. You're wasting so much time doing Krugs that you could have just done this and skipped the Krugs. But obviously, if the enemy jungle is sequencing down and you have to show top lane or mid lane, you're going to lose the Krugs to counter jungling, especially to a Udyr. He's going to yeet those as fast as he can. So, considered, sure, but we know the Udyr started top and went down because we placed the ward. So you could have just done the wolves into the Grump into the blue, and then, wait, what have I done? The camera! Oh no! You could have let me fix that. Okay, we're back. I put it into cinematic mode. I had to exit the game and come back into it. So the Udyr shows in the bottom lane here. We see 28, 29, which means full clear, scuttle, plus a ward. The Yumi is going in on the Ashe and the Zillion. We have now reset here, and basically you can expect Udyr to kind of cancel his back your idea. Yeah. That sounds about right. I'm dealing with this on a main channel video that most of you, by the time you see this, that will be available. Just talking about the nature of, you know, when you have an inting lane or laners who are losing, it's not always their fault. It is definitely in those kinds of situations, but the jungler makes it, you know, really, really difficult for them to handle the scenarios. And if you're not in a position to help them, or you hurt them, or you don't do what you can when you should, it can really seem like your laners are just inting around you. So there's always a jungle impact there. I do understand you can have negative streaks where people just int. I'm not talking about the straight inters, right? I'm talking about the games where someone just loses lane and it's like, well, what did I do to help them or hurt them? And that matters a lot. So here the Ahri is looking to do something about the Silas. We're going for a scan job, and this is the issue with the clear. Fortunately, in Season 12, those mini Krugs are gone. The medium Krugs, excuse me. There will be no more medium Krugs except for the initial one. That will split into 2 tiny Krugs, and the large Krug will split into 4 tiny Krugs, so they're much quicker to take. But when you now go red Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, if you do blue into the Scuttle, there's going to be such a big despawn sequence time, or respawn sequence time between the wolves and the grump, you're going to be stuck here in a little bit of no man's land. If the Udyr knows you're sequencing up and knows that the bottom lane is one, we can kind of go for a cheeky crab here, crab dragon out of base. But the SHYVANA has nothing else to do. I mean, we can go top lane and gank this, but they're both going to be useful, so there's no point going top lane ever. This is a big snowball issue, but the Sylas is 5 and the Ahri is 6. We suspect here that there's a dragon taking a foot. Can we collapse and make something of this? Ah, hello. Sylas is still 5. This is crucial. The first blood compromising him, plus the Ahri's own advantages through her lane management, which we didn't look at, but that's what she did. Let's go. Can we get a steal? And good focus. Kill the dragon now. Let's smite it. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, there's a little late on the smite, but we got it. Now we can chase down. Can we kill the yummy? Yes, please. Destroy. Disgusting champion. And now we have an RNG Scuttle blessed to us on this side as well. This is another big thing. You can gank a bottom lane. You can gank a mid lane. You can be there when they do things themselves. But if you force a dragon when they're low and the respawn timers are low, and then enemy can come out of base or rotate and you all die and give up the dragon, you're compromising your entire game. The Udyr by forcing this. Yes, I know that the SHYVANA is going to the top side. Yep, what I didn't think about was mid lane 6. And forcing an early dragon when your bot lane can just go bot lane and steamroll. I don't want to results based it, but I have another example in the main channel video. You're going to see exactly what I mean about how this goes wrong for a Hectorim who made a separate decision, but the same result, that the enemy jungler and lane is collapsing on them and killing them and stealing the dragon. It really does happen quite a lot. So think deeply about your dragon. I would prefer her to sequence up here, be forced to think about this. I'll do red side and cut in and solo it. That way no one knows I'm doing it, right? When you bring your laners over to you, when you don't need your laners to do it, it creates a lot of issues. So here we're going to go into the Krugs, into the red, into most likely the Raptors. We are 6. I think we want to try and use that as soon as possible. Bottom lane is a losing lane, but I think we're fed enough, we're strong enough that we can do something about it. The recurve bow really big there, and obviously the attack damage on the W is huge, but you know, we have both AD and AP scalings on the E as well, so we're going to match that. I forgot about this. I saw it in the kill timer, but I want to see what happens exactly, because the Shen goes for a trade with the Makra. He uses the roots. Udyr is going to try and run around the wall. No map scaling. Mid laner has prior. We are finishing the walls, but I hope we rotate to this. It looks like we are. Charm. I was going to say Scryer's Bloom, but plant thing. Blasting Cone, there we go, got it. Sylas goes in with the Ahri ult. SHYVANA goes in with her Dragon Form, misses everything, but it doesn't matter. Now they're burning in the burnout, but that's a Phoenix from the Udyr as well. He is not dead thanks to the SHYVANA. Nice charm by the Ahri there. Repositioning to get away. SHYVANA sitting in front of everyone to keep the Ahri alive. Sylas uses his huge heal chunk W to get ahead and is able to now turn that fight to kill the SHYVANA, but Ahri's going to chase him down and should be able to kill him with another charm. Can we please? That was sick. That was sick. I don't know how much of it looks like it was a nice intended E reaction onto the Ahri flash, but that just shows you how disgusting Sylas is. Holy shit, that W is not okay in any way. I hate it. So I think Worlds plays, everyone's just like, can we just like no more Sylas for a little bit? And we'll bring. He's a cool champion. I wish he could be played in the jungle, 100%. Here we should have just used the outside in rule, but we had no smite, you see. So if you have no smite, it's a little more difficult to kind of say, hey, let me go and take the scuttle. Initially, but if we do blue, we'll have the smite, then we can do the scuttle. And obviously if the Udyr doesn't have his smite, then you can steal it from him. So great, cool, that works out in the end. But always principles, right? Always raw principles and fundamentals. Maokai, we saw the SHYVANA go ahead and smite away that crab. We saw her go back into a jungle. We know she's on the blue side here. Why would you even go toward that? Dragon Breath, you see that right there? That right there is why her win rate is down. Because that reduced damage, that reduced base damage just didn't kill him. Perfect example of a nerf helping base form damage keep someone alive that otherwise would have killed them before the nerf. But the AP ratios and the AD ratio buffs means that when we build hybrid, obviously we're building Blade here, so we're focusing on the AD ratios in this particular stage of the game, enable us to go ahead and kill him anyway. But that's a great example. Most lower elo players might not chase this down, they might not know the damage threshold, that this doesn't get that close. Udyr's ganking in the bottom lane. Here we fall back to the Herald. And of course, remember, the Blade of the Rune King is absolutely juiced this game against this HP stacking comp. We have the Udyr, the Sylas, the Maka, they're all building HP. The Yuumi is attached to one of them, so you're going to need as much burn damage as possible. Shen uses his ult after we have done the... Oh, Zillion, thank goodness. Zillion and Shen on one team is the only thing I think can de-tilt a team from having to face a Yuumi on a Twitch with that team comp. But, you know, we win the coin flip in this scenario, but what are we doing to make sure we can see this through to a victory? The Ahri is winning mid. Ah, very nicely done. Okay, I'd rather ult there and be safe. Yeah, let's just go and hit this and activate. We could just herald this. Bust it open. Get prior for the next dragon. What do we have in the bank? 1672. Our death meant that we do have an item completion, which is huge. The Udyr is going for the Frostfire first. She will go for the Frostfire second. And this player is trying more AP-focused builds. Just want to be honest and upfront about that. It is more nuanced, though. Like, it is more difficult. Your spacing needs to be... You can't just ult into people now and do high base damage and survive and be a beast, right? That's like for Frostfire Demonics, but you're going to have less base damage. And when you have less damage, people are like, this might get away from you. But I much prefer running and sneaking a dragon if you can do it quickly yourself. It doesn't draw focus. If you can solo dragons and heralds, it doesn't draw focus to you. And I think that's crucial when you're trying to sneak things away quite often. Now, at this point, we're going to be a bit of a goblin, I think, because we've got 2.2. We can probably justify doing Krugs into Raptors, but there's an RG Scuttle topside. You don't want to be too distorted with the back timers of your team. Unfortunately, we should have just held it and killed the babies if we were going to do that. Twitch is now showing up with Yummy. Silas is going in on the Ahri. SHYVANA says, I see this. I have full fury stacked. We can ult again. Udyr shows on the bottom side here from the Ashe Hawkshot. Deciding to go to the bottom lane instead because, of course, the Twitch is quite low. Udyr cleans up the Ashe. Can we kill the Twitch with our ult over the wall? We should be able to. Nice long-range bomb. Well played. So no amount of base damage enough is stopping that guy from dying. We do have the Blade of the Rune King already proc. We do have Red Smite as we need it. Zillion does have his ult, so we could look to fight a bit longer, but Silas is MIA from the mid lane. Keep track of these things and those pings. So we detach, don't overcommit, and don't die. Now again, do we want to do red into Raptors and to make sure we get a super juicy reset? Let's have a look. You could look to stay out even longer, but I think that's, even for me, it's a little bit too much of an extended sequence. Right, Frostfire completed, Blade completed. Typically, we were doing Frostfire Demonics into like a tanky build. Now we're doing the Blade Frostfire, which is, of course, a build that people were running anyway. Still a good build, but now it's a better build because AD ratio buffs on the W. And the Titanic Hydra will enable you to do a lot of splash damage in fights, and it's great versus max HP targets and things like that. You know, Blade plus Titanic against that comp. Very nice, very nice. Outside in rule here, straight for the top scuttle, RNG. Dude is now level 9. We are now level 10. Nowhere near level 11. We're going to go ahead and push this a little bit because we don't want to have an awkward situation later. Also, it's a Shen, so... Shens are just Chads. It's known. Shens are just great players, great people. We're going to try and get a plate or two here as quickly as possible. But Udyr does show up to cover. That's very, very important. You see this? If you just did Krugs into your Raptors here and went mid lane, the SHYVANA gets plates, gets another wave. You're compromising your own matchup, right? He just decides to cut that off, hold it. She doesn't get a free 160, and that's very, very important. Now we can fall back down to our blue side. We are not double camping. We should be double camping. SHYVANA player, please. You main this in Master. Come on. Double camping. Enjoy it while you can. They nerfed that. They nerfed the patience range of the Grump again. Poor fiddle mains. They just want to suck. They just want to suck. It's mostly for K mains, most likely. You watch a K main, like certain mains, you put them on another champion and it's just like watching, I don't know, man, like Baby Groot try and pilot it or something. It's honestly funny. Evelyn mains just walk by every single wall because they're not used to being detected by regular wards. It's really interesting. Kane mains just get away with so much stuff with their mobility. I would love to see that, actually. I would love to see that. But hey, I love both. I love all junglers really that are interesting and dynamic and rule breaking and unique because I think uniqueness is the most important aspect of the game. But yeah. Anyway, hello Twitch. I heard you were fed on the bottom lane. Ooh, that was a nice ult. There we go. He does end up not doing as much damage as possible. Silas has stolen the Shen ult. Now he's Shen ulting a Yuumi who's going to jump onto the Silas. We're chucking in an Ashe ult to the face, but there's no wave. Why? Save it. Ashe ults are always wasted. Get excited there because Ashe ults are always wasted, man. Like, I don't know, just use them properly. Ashe players just always misuse their ults. They're trying to cross-map prey always, or they just misuse it in a... Like, great, you stunned him. But none of us can follow up. It's because ADC players don't know how to engage. An Ashe player who knows how to kite, DPS, and engage with beautiful ults, you will climb, no stress. Very easily. Now the first Dragon Force is obviously compromising the game a little bit, but we're going to fall back here. Kind of want to see We're at 716 at the moment on that, by the way. Very small amount on the crossfire damage. I think we should go into the Titanic second. Yeah, there we go. Tiamat is bought. This is a lot of AD. This will affect your Q, every auto attack, and obviously you get the pickaxe plus 25 AD ratios on your W and your E as well. Obviously Q as well. Right. Grouping for this Ocean Dragon. Can we try and do something about it? I don't think I want to give them a single Ocean Dragon. The downside to us taking both those first dragons is that they could stack 4 oceans if you play this incorrectly. And that's something we really, really want to avoid. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. Shanna's jump. Oh, that's a beautiful SHYVANA ult. Groups them up together. Make sure you kill the Yuumi as soon as possible. Your percentage max HP damage is still going to be huge on your E, even if it is nerfed by 0.25%. Doesn't really matter. You have a lot of attack speed now. You can keep spamming those E's as much as possible. Keep them in the burnout. Keep auto attacking. Keep using your Q resets. You have the red smite. Chase down with your W. We don't have the movement speed proc from the AP. Obviously, that gives us the movement speed, but we have the damage. We have the power. We are the dragon. Well done. Very nice. I like that. We have here no bonus damage gain from this in the data. I would like to see bonus damage from Tiamat as well in the data. Right, please. Titanic, obviously, but I would like it in the Tiamat as well because you cleave nearby enemies as well, right? And when you're in the burnout, plus auto attacking in huge dragon form, you're going to get a lot, especially when you group them up to, like this right here, like they're your eggs, and you keep them warm. And I'm going to stop right there before that becomes weird. Man, it feels slow. Really feels slow, doesn't it? It's not a lot, but like you get that AP ratio on that speed that decays, but you notice it when they build AD. Like 0.08%, it's like, but you know, I guess you have to play a movement speed based champion and you just remove like 10 movement speed. It can feel sluggish sometimes. I don't know how to explain it. Hopefully someone understands what I mean, but yeah. It is magic damage too. Scales with 80, but it's magic damage. It's important, right? The Flamestorm also causes additional magic damage. Scales with 80, but it's magic damage. Those things for newer players or players who don't really understand how that works, we can amplify the damage with whatever scalings we want. HP, armor, AD, AP, doesn't really matter. The damage that the spell actually does is completely separate. Magic or physical. Or true damage, you know, like, it doesn't really matter. So those are the two different things that you gotta think about with your atomization. That's why she's a raw hybrid champion, because those auto attacks from Blade plus Q is gonna be nutty. Right. A fight. We have Titanic completed. Here we go. Right, Udyr, we're going to try and peel and stay in front of our team as much as possible. Please, that Q did a lot of damage. Twin Bite, very nice. We're going to ult over the wall here. We really want to chase down the Silas. We do hit the E, which is very, very good. We can now press the W again. We do have Red Smite as we need it. He's going to go in and we say, we really, really don't care at this stage. Another E, another burn. He goes back in for some reason and dies. Hello, Yuumi. Auto attack. Auto attack. We'll take the double. Thank you so much. 11-1-5, 286. Not a lot, but enough in that small little skirmish into an objective. Playing an enemy jungler's mistakes against them is the best way to play this game every single time. If you can track them, read them, punish them, you're going to get so many good things. Even if it's against whatever your game plan might have said for you to do. For example, hey, let me wait for Grump or whatever. Nah, they're probably on the dragon because that's what I would do against me when I'm in that situation. Oh, look. Kills and steals. Have fun. From this, remember, and something I try to put in my live companion guides as much as possible is, in these moments, hey, look, they are dead, or you have a big lead. Go into their jungle and take their camps. That prompt helps me too, as I said in the video yesterday. I get a little bit too conservative about, hey, I did a good job, let me go farm some camps. But it's because the stuff that I play isn't able to really, like, Rengar situations, so I have to be a bit more intelligent about how I position. Look at this. Blade plus E plus Titanic. That is a dead Maokai. Now, I know he's down 2 levels. But we all know the benefit of tanks is that even if they're down 2 levels, they still are useful because they build HP resistances and they have so many years of CC. If you can burn them down like that, they're so demoralizing, man. I play a lot of tanks, dude. It's so demoralizing. We're going to try and kill this tower anyway because we can. Shen's going to ult us. We're just going to burn down this Udyr here. We have TP being committed by the Silas, I assume. Yes, it is. And we have here double stun. We're going to stand in front of them. The Zilean ult does go through because we stole the Zilean ult as Silas. And now he's in a bit of a predicament, isn't he? I think you're dead, my son. Boom. Boom. Nice auto attacks. Use your Q whenever it's up. Twin Bite. The coolest thing that they did a while back was put AP scalings on that as well. They keep trying to buff AP SHYVANA, but again, you're just so damn squishy. You do so much damage, and it is really good, but you're just so squishy. You can't fight like this. When you want to, like, if you're a low elo SHYVANA player, I recommend, at the very least, playing the Frozen Fist, the Frostfire plus the Bladed Rune King tank build. Get used to that. Understand how to engage, survive, and thrive. Demonics 2, your damage will definitely be reduced and you will feel it to a little bit of a degree. Don't go AP though. If you want to do something interesting, do this. This is the full build right here. It doesn't really matter. You can build Stoneplate last, right? Like you build Stoneplate. Do this. Because this will give you a strong sense of the different break-even points of what AD does to your playstyle and what AP does to your playstyle. You'll feel that. And now let's have a look here. We have 846 obviously gain 34 attack damage and gain an additional 34 ability power. Now with a scaling champion who has double ratios, instead of having 34 of one thing, you have like 34 plus 34 as well. So you got a 68 bonus stats from AD and AP applied to all of your ratios. So your abilities just go. And with the Volibear build I did, it was like something like 100 units of extra stats or something like that when I figured it out. That was a full build Volibear build from a year ago though. Hey, die. I mean, I'm sorry. You see again, I'm pausing because this is twice this game where you thought, this dude is dead. But the base damage nerf on the E plus a 0.25% max HP nerf means that he lives with 76 HP. It's a very real change. It's a visceral change when you nerf base damages and you dump all the damage. And that's with damage. So without the damage, if we basically kept everything the same and just buffed up the ratio straight up, he dies there, for example. With Zolia, if we had the high base damage without itemization, he dies as well. We did kill him in the end, but we wouldn't have had to follow up. We could have just Iron Man ran away. Okay. I think here this is looking quite demoralized for the enemy team. We have here, they surrendered. It doesn't show up, but they surrendered. So, an unfortunate anticlimactic ending, but if you want to understand how to end games properly, I have a lot of gameplays, long gameplays that I've covered recently, so a little bit of a shorter one is good. Hopefully you can see the pros and cons of the new SHYVANA. Please don't go full AP just yet. It is more difficult to play and you are more squishy. That's the win rate is lower, but she is definitely looking very good if you build damage, and still is tanky if you build and play it appropriately. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget Zara GG guys linked below for every single jungler in the game, at least 30 plus, almost 40. Patreon has your coaching VODs and coaching signups. Subscribe to this channel, the main channel, all the channels, and I will see you all in the next tutorial.